This ox, strength divided from, facing frontward, split from the topmost rule to inherit, possess first, as whom, with how, a footstep, sign of relation, connecting link, to him, he who, according to, as if, causal force, seeing that, for as much from whence also, as cord split, meaning pressure, as press this top, ropes and cord made of bark strips of cedar or sinew, got pressed on top and wrapped together. A rope gets used to tightly secure or support. Umbilical cord, straight. A cord pulled tight gets straight. Gift brought by a traveler, plane, a level or straight place. Place all in all as a rope attaches two objects together. This word links an action of a sentence to one doing an action. This revealed breath indeed, thrust handiwork. Look at this man. Life, as came to pass, exist, come about, appears, arises, takes place, turn into, property of, possession of, hand come upon, abide, remain, come near, brought about, done, committed to breathe. Breathe after, one who looks at a sight with hands raised, to take a long breath, to exist or have breath. Breath also as meaning character of someone or something. This man desiring in a path by authority, led and taught by this might unknown, lifted up waters as resemblance, a representative figure, likeness, image, cut out, as a man laying on his side of a trail, as an outline, representation of an original, as form of something as a shadow of an original. Look, behold this man, life, as that which walks, goes, proceeds, a decree or statute, to bring again. This arm which made, thrusted to observe, physically, what got revealed. This man existence life, this breath anointed and fixed to this breath, as Yah. The topmost rule, ox, chief not revealed, as not full features, not fully seen, not fully revealed, encountered, looked at, not yet a looking glass, not closely watched. This family house, tent floor plan subdued and secured, connecting and anointing first for inheritance, possession, as firstborn, inheritance, rights, and familial leadership, rising early, bearing new early fruit. This palm of hand, palm curved around a staff allowed to tame, a goal to have and has control toward authority to bind, as whole, all, any, and every, any place, thing completely, finished, perfected crown, of this family house plan from the beginning, this rule and possession and inheritance of this chief, as created, shaped, formed, fashioned by cutting, shape out, para reed for writing, a stick for an arrow, new condition, transformation, birthed like soap grains transformed to make potash for making soap. Clean cleaning, polishing to make bright like wing, fowl fed on grain, strengthening for a long flight, fill, fattening or filling up of something, filling of earth with sun, plants, animals, etc., filling of man with life and the image of Yah, covenant, a covenant God instituted through a sacrifice of a choice fatted animal. This arm got deeded, made to physically observe, on his side, on this trail from this first rule, possession to inherit, as mold into a form as a potter, to determine, create, created, covenant, contract, preordain, plan, distress to get straightened, to lay, press, squeeze into shape, crush. This palm of hand subdued and got allowed to deed, did handiwork, physically observed, as for in order that, since of oath, if, proximate, ultimate cause, in this house, this floor plan, this ox, strength and chief, goal and authority, yoke, as above, upon to ascend, bring up, upward, on high, clothing, covering, protecting, duty, payment, care, on grounds of basis, for sake of condition, acceptably, stand by, stand over, relief from trouble, shine, as in an eye to see a staff or yoke over a shoulder. A yoke, often a staff, got lifted over a shoulder and or attached to oxen for performing work. Over a shoulder as above, rising as a rising of smoke as something burned, lifted, prophet, forward, good, mantle, robe. This revealed breath of mankind, nailed and anointed to secure connection of this chief. As who, this, he, it, as look, one who looks at a great sight with hands raised. Of this family house planned from the beginning, rule and possession, inheritance of this chief, is smith and a waster, of righteousness and darkness, cut out, created, shaped, formed, fashioned by cutting, para reed, etc. Also as a house of a head one, family of heads two. Plant families of grains, such as wheat and barley, have a cluster of seeds at the top of a stalk called heads. Grain used for food made one strong, mighty, of power, any one of great strength, power of a bird in flight, fatted, etc. This arm deeded, made to physically observe on his side and on this trail from the first rule, and possession to inherit, as mold into a form, to determine, created, covenant, contract, preordain, plan, distress to get straightened, to lay, press, squeeze, squeeze into shape, crush, made an enemy, to shine, olives get pressed to extract glimmering oil, something that shines bright. Noon is the brightest part of day thought, a thought forming in a mind. This palm of hand curved around a staff allowed to tame, this goal control toward authority to bind, as whole, all, any, every, any place or thing, completely finished as a perfected crown. In this floor plan, see and understand this staff of authority as over to conquer in accordance, on account of, ground, soil, rests heavily upon, a 10-stringed instrument, harp as a matter of lawsuit, to go up, ascend in flame on an altar, climb to a sacred place, cause to burn, make to pay, take away, captivity in a yoke placed on captives to get taken back, restore, in this divided place frontward, split from many waters, people deeded and worked by hand, lifted above this unknown sea, as heaven, that of visibility, abode of hue, sky, place of wind, breath, place of renown. And see, understand this staff of authority as over to conquer, accord on account of, ground, soil, rest heavily upon, etc. This chief leader has binding authority, as mighty a chief. Ox, meaning strong, a shepherd's staff represents authority of a shepherd. A strong authority in a yoke. Two oxen got yoked together, often an older experienced one teamed up, yoked, with a younger, less experienced one. An oath as a power of an ox's muscles to perform work. One who holds authority over others to swear, yoking together of two parties. A treaty or covenant binding two parties together through an oath, yoke. An oath includes blessings for abiding by a covenant and curses for breaking it. A task undertaken, strong one pillar. Upon this strength where man began, possession and inheritance, place where man lays on his side, or on a trail desiring, place of hunting, as all of earth, inhabitants therein, land, ground, country, nations, territories, districts, regions, world inferior, as crush, potsherd, broken pieces of clay pottery used to send messages, crush as place of violence, also oppression, bruised. The breath, existence, strong lower place where this chief hung low, of waters and blood, from this unknown sea, that life as ground, soil, land ownership, man formed there, ground tilled, yielding, reddish as soil, ruddy as man. Upon the men, breaths revealed, heads from this top, beginning in persons, oxen, leaders, and, or powers beheld, as inspect, perceive, notice, C, a spectacle, expected human appearance, features, discerning, receiving revelation, have power of vision, of regard for Yahuwah, by reason of, as a fruit of, makes one see light. Observe, see after, learn, closely watch, appearance, espy, and men breaths not revealed, as not inspected, not perceived, not noticed, not seen, no fruit of, no regard of Hu Ishi by reason of, not making a spectacle, no expected human appearance, no appearance, etc. Any ox so to a fixed, as alternative or choice between two options, delineating different conditions or choice whether or if, desire, often implying preference. Otherwise, a peg representing an idea of attaching something, an idea of adding something out of desire, woe, a cry of desire, human desire, bodily appetite, here like away, from this chief unknown water, as of though, as strong water, glue, arm, that which holds things. Together an arm holds things together as glue, cubit as a length of an arm, from elbow to fingertip, a craftsman architect, artisan who uses a cubit for measuring. Upon any subdued and bent, curved around, that thing hating or not, supporting, or that which tries to prevent, that which turns, establishes, established by this chief, as thrones, honored guest, royal, dignities, covered, concealed, hid with clothes, fled to hide, sated, covered with flesh, fat, overwhelmed, seat in a seat, as a cup that holds, conceals a person, scales covering like a fish tribute. Upon these many waters, from this lifted up, unknown sea divided, staves or control towards breath, as power, dominion, to have dominion, rule, governing body, governor, kingdom, to compare one thing to another in a sense of rule and measurement, realm. Or any head, top person, or such strength divided and physically observed from, operative word, physically observing this covenant, as any ruler, principal in ranking, head of sea monsters, dogs, serpents, head of an order, given permission, betrothed, and upon any ox so to a fixed other than this anointed, any and all broken off staves, bindings attempting control over, to try to bind, surround snakes. Blowing of mud is trying to get mastery, lord over, trying to exercise authority, assault. Of this palm of hand, around this staff allowed to tame, a goal to have control toward authority,